listening to The Trade Gods.
Hey, rookies you need for ship chasing. We are the Trade Gods. Coach, Chev, how you doing? We got Colston Loveland. We've been talking Luther Burden. Chev, you and I were talking a lot this last week about in 2026, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland. You get one, you get both. You split the profit, you get profit when you have them both. And you're going to want to get the Bears and these two young studs, tight end and receiver respectively, are what you're going to want to do. You have Colston Loveland here. He's had like a late resurgence in the season as compared to somebody like a Tyler Warren. You see finishes of tight end 3 back in week 12. He was tight end 2 week 10. So there have been some boom weeks here so far for Colston Loveland. And it's not, the entirety of where you are. It's where you end up that really matters heading into 2026 and where you end up for these fantasy playoffs. So if you can acquire Colston Loveland, we got some deals here, Chev. What direction would you go for Colston Loveland? And are you buying him for the fantasy playoffs?
Absolutely. So we're getting sneak peeks of what he's capable of. And you and I talked before as we were playing through the show, and we talked about him. Like, my thought process is, hey, I'm gonna split the middle, and I'm gonna go half acquisitions of Colston Loveland and half acquisitions of Luther Burden, because there's a very high probability that Ben Johnson just decides to build the passing tree around one of those two guys, and then everybody else is just kind of a tertiary option. So I find myself getting really excited about the prospect of Colston Loveland as a pass catcher. Like, we know what the athleticism represents, and it's, I know, it says he ran like a 4.7 240, but you watching him play, and it does, like, you made an excellent point. If you wanted to elaborate on how,
Yep.
like, just say it, because I don't want to mess it up.
Oh, yeah. Loveland, when I was scouting him in the pre-draft process, this is why you like to tune in, lock in to the players, form your own analysis and opinion. He likes to play hide and seek, and he can wiggle through the zone. For such a large player, a tight end, some of the better tight ends are able to do this, find soft spots in the zone, play essentially that hide and seek, where all of a sudden you step up and you burst and show at the top of a route when your quarterback is finding you. And that's what Colston Loveland does. You mentioned 4.7 speed. Remember the allegations against Keenan Allen, technician, route runner, 4.7 40. And the funny thing is, you and I were talking about, hey, this is a cool thing that we see for Colston Loveland. The only thing is, in that pre-draft process, there wasn't a lot of it because of J.J. McCarthy in the low throw volume offense of Michigan. So it's beautiful, and it's funny. I don't think you need to stem and push at each other, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland. I think that's just a losing battle. I think you're able to find later victories. Take somebody like a Rondé Gadsden. You get him later versus, say, a Terrence Ferguson. That's where you can make a lot of profit. When you have studs like Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, the level of profit shy of injury, it's going to be very marginal. So when we get lower and later, I think that's where we can make a lot of our better bets. So you can be team Tyler Warren, team Colston Loveland. I don't think one should necessarily mean that you dislike the other. Taking a look at the trade here, we've got 2 QB, 12 team start 9, half PPR, 1 point, tight end premium. This one jumps out to me. Sam Laporta in a 26th third for Colston Loveland straight up in a start 9. I'm going to run with Colston Loveland. We've seen the direction that the Lions have gone, where it's more JMO. If it's not Amon-Ra, it's more Gibbs geared. And then secondarily, Dan Campbell loves him some David Montgomery. I think I go away from Sam Laporta. He's a great yak monster. I don't think his whole career is written off yet, but give me that upside, especially if I'm trying to contend week 15 on here. Give me Colston Loveland in this deal. What do you think about that?
That's a tough one for me, because Sam Laporta is we've seen what I think could be Colston Loveland's potential ceiling with Sam Laporta already. And he's 24 years old. Like, he's in the environment now. Sans Ben Johnson, or Sans Ben Johnson, however you want to say it, like, that could be a little bit different. But, we're talking about the target volatility. And so I think, like I said, going into 2026, there's a good chance they make him and Luther Burden the 1A and 1B of this passing tree. So I'm fine moving off of. I would like to, because Sam Laporta is on IR. That makes this a lot easier. If Sam Laporta was healthy, we're timing the market pretty well. In one tight end premium, I'll take Colston Loveland because I believe in what I'm saying. I really do believe Ben Johnson's going to build a passing offense around him. And you've got the cursor right there on a trade that really, really, really intrigues me with Jordan Addison and Michael Penix, Alec Pierce, Colston Loveland in a 2026 one. Now that one is that's a slam dunk to me because way back in June or July, I was preaching a good word of Alec Pierce potentially having a crystallized role with either quarterback, and now he's about to get $20 million plus a year because it's worked out. We'll see what happens with Phillip Rivers, just as long as we don't mention Joe Burrow to him. And then you get a 2026 one, and you get Colston Loveland. So that makes me really excited because I'm getting two things that I really value in players, and then I get the 2026 one, which we know closer that we get to draft season and football stopping happening, that pick gets worth more and more exponentially.
Oh, great word, exponentially. And you dropped tertiary before. Don't think I didn't hear it. 26 round one pick. I'm going to go. That pick just gets sexier and sexier. And might I add maybe somebody like Casey Concepcion, who could be his own Jordan Addison already. And you're getting out of a plummeted asset in Michael Penix. Sign me up. So I like that deal. Pierce, Loveland, 26 upside. We're starting to see that top half of the 26 class. If you're into a wide receiver, because you're going to go Jeremiah Love, you have about 4 or 5 receivers deep that you can go. If you want to come away with whoever the draft board gives you, it's real exciting. So yeah, give me that Pierce, Loveland, 26-1 side. Let's go over RJ Harvey. Chev, he's had RB2 and RB4 back-to-back weeks. And Sean Payton has talked up, you haven't seen anything yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Bum, bum. Oh, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. RJ Harvey is really showing our pre-draft process. And it's so funny how J.K. Dobbins got out of the way, and it was like, oh, J.K., just for a little bit. RJ Harvey's not going to quite fully get it immediately, but patience is a virtue. And post-bye week, there was a bump, and we saw it happen for RJ Harvey. So we have RB2, RB4, age be damned. What he's going to be. So he's going to be 25 in year 2 or 25 and a half or whatever into year 2. Sign me up. You see what Jonathan Taylor is doing at 26, and people thought he was ancient history coming into the season.
Remember when he was going to get replaced by DJ Giddens? That was super cool.
Hey, that hurts. It's painful. I love DJ Giddens, but I do love Jonathan Taylor. So I won somewhere, and where we won was Jonathan Taylor. But RIP, that's why we keep coming back. Let's see RJ Harvey, Chev, 2027 class. We talked about the 26 class might be a little bit weaker, but we're starting to see how enticing that top half, the middle to top half. And of course, as we dive into, I just saw Kenyon Sadiq go at the 112. And I know that gets the blood flowing in a mock. Yes. 27 round 1, 2 quarterback, 12 team start 9, half PPR, 0.5 tight end premium. RJ Harvey and a third. Are you signing up for RJ Harvey the next 2 years and possibly 3?
Yes. I mean, Jeremiah, I was so loud about Oronde Gadsden that people forgot that I was going crazy about RJ Harvey and, Rashard Smith, RIP. But I love RJ Harvey. I love everything about his game. Super explosive. He makes explosive runs. Now he's learning how to be a professional running back. He's not bouncing. You saw him make a ton of tough runs against the Raiders, against the Chiefs. He got the tough yards, and that was the knock on his profiles. He used his athleticism to try to bounce everything outside, and he's playing in the Big 12. So there's future pulpit salesmen out there that are trying to catch him. So how is this going to work? Because you can't bounce everything outside. We saw that early in Reggie Bush's career. To go back, if you guys are old enough to remember Reggie Bush, the player, the Heisman winner, and not Reggie Bush, the Fox analyst. So I think with RJ Harvey, we have a premium buying opportunity because, we know that Sean Payton is going to throw the ball to the running back. He had 6 receptions this past week. He had over, he's getting inside the 5 touches. They're throwing it to him inside, like they're throwing it to him in the low red zone. Everything that you want. This is screaming breakout in 2026. And so, yeah, I would, as reluctant as I am, because I do think that 27 class is so loaded, not just with Jeremiah Smith, but a litany of guys. That makes it a tough decision here, but I have to trust the training, and I've got to go with RJ Harvey here.
Hey, why not reap profits to make the 27-1 that you're going to have your own be the 112?
Yeah.
And how you do that is by acquiring and having RJ Harvey or keeping him, right? You said a key point, and I'm glad you touched on it. Inside the 5, the comfort inside the 5. What we saw in the pre-draft process, what we saw in college was the quarterback, the wildcat utilization inside the 5, inside the 10. He was very comfortable in college. They loved having him utilized in there. And you see that comfort. That's really the right word. There's comfort inside the 5 and utilization in the deep green zone for RJ Harvey. Love to see it. And as far as Dynasty, how you want to play process, there's no off season. Let's learn about the Dynasty Dominator.
Hey, what if I told you there was a Dynasty app where you could get player lifetime values, evaluate trades, including draft picks out to 2028, compare the advanced metrics of 2 players, look up the sentiment, buy, sell, hold on players? Well, there is a mobile app that has all of that and more called the Dynasty Dominator, and it's $5 in the App Store on Google Play. This is my gift to you, the most affordable Dynasty League domination app available today. And if you already have it, the 2025 class is ready to download. Let's go.
Now, speaking of, we didn't even do this on purpose to have 2 Broncos players, 2 rookies. We just wanted to make sure, hey, we get a tight end, we get a running back. Let's switch it up with a receiver. We had talked a lot of Luther Burden. Here we have Pat Bryant, the Michael Thomas that they're trying to hype up. Do you believe the hype? And do you see Pat Bryant going on a run here to where he's not unattainable, but the price is going to jump up so much, you might as well have gotten him now?
I do think that if you're a Pat Bryant truther, now is the time to buy before the price becomes a little bit, slightly untenable. And so with that being the case, I find myself looking at this and I'm like, all right, so it's happening slowly but surely. I don't think that, with the fresh new contract that Cortland Sutton has, Troy Franklin had a period over the course of like a 5-game stretch where he had 46 targets and was basically like 9 targets a game. And, we've seen that quietly flip since the bye week. And I think that it could be sticky. I mean, he out snapped him in week 13. And then in week 14, he out targeted and caught him. He 4 for 32 versus 3 for 11 for Troy Franklin. And so I think that this is signal and not noise. And he's just, again, Sean Payton usually hates rookies.
Yep.
Like outside of drafting Reggie Bush 2nd overall, and then Alvin Kamara got off to a slower start because he was splitting with, I believe, Mark Ingram and Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
So it takes time for these guys to come along. Now, Michael Thomas is a different animal, because he's awesome. And Pat Bryant could be awesome too, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. So if you're a believer, let's go to these trades real quick and let's get some inspiration so that you can go out and you can acquire a guy that's going to be an absolute steal in 2026, because the breakout is quietly happening. And it's not loud enough for you to talk about him on waivers. I mean, I did on my waiver show on, our partner network, the FF Dynasty, FFD Fantasy, whatever. But like I said, there's just, he's a throw into a trade right now. Hey, I'm a rebuilder. I want some young pieces. I go get Wan'Dale, Jalen Coker, and Pat Bryant. 2 of those 3 guys I absolutely love. And Wan'Dale Robinson was like the wide receiver 12 going into this week. So yeah, this is, he's a throw in trades right now. You've got, I don't know that I would agree with giving up on Travis Hunter this quickly, but liquid assets, guys that are actually playing and scoring points in your lineup to give up. If you didn't believe in Travis Hunter and you made it so that you could, you could potentially cash out. There it is. So if you're able to use him to tier up to a guy like Alec Pierce, who we just talked about, like, yeah, he's an amoebus asset. Yeah, it's an amoeba. It's whatever you want it to be right now. Like, you can get him as a throw-in in trades. You can use him to tier up. So yes, this is a wonderful place to be with Pat Bryant right now.
Well, Amoeba thinks that you are correct. You are onto something right. And the beautiful thing is, think of back in the day, pre-AI slop, where you were just doing self-checkout at stores. You used to, be with your mom or dad, family, somebody, whoever's getting groceries for you, right? You just kind of throw something on there, a pack of gum, right? Candy bar. Hope that as they're scanning away, they're asking you, and your parent may be telling some joke that's really not funny, but you're, man, that's good. And you just hope that pack of gum or that Kit Kat bar slides through. That's what you're trying to do with Pat Bryant. This last week, I tried to go. I'm getting a reputation in this one league where it's like, hey, if Jeremiah's offering you somebody, just hold on to it for dear life. They will appreciate an asset. Like, it's happened, and it's tough because instant reject. I sent, and this wasn't like a high price for anything, because I think a second would have moved it, but a 26 round 3 up here was liquid in this deal in the top left for Pat Bryant. I tried that last week, instant reject. The guy is onto something. So this is going to be one of those players where people know, but if there's enough of a throw in, like the deal below where you're talking Wandale, Coker, Bryant, I think that can happen, and that can help you throw the pack of gum onto the register. Alec Pierce, Pat Bryant, and a 26th third. I would want to get Alec Pierce. I think what you can do is make that a 26 second, and that's a better deal for you. So I would not quite get rid of Alec Pierce, because you're going to get the contract value insulation. Phillip Rivers is going to be the quarterback there next year, so that's just insulation twice, right? And I just see a 26 second being a little bit more of a firm price. So whoever got Alec Pierce for Pat Bryant in the 26th third, I think he did a really good job.
Yeah.
And if you're that Pierce person, I think you should have squeezed a second. And hat tip, you still may end up doing well with Pat Bryant. So we love, to sum it up, Colston Loveland, Loveland, RJ Harvey, and Pat Bryant. We are the trade gods. We will see you next week.
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to PlayerProfiler.com, Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, Data Analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.